Arcade. Who dares to enter the mayhem? Asuka, our court. Asuka, our court. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
Repeat after me. I'm bored. I have no right to utter such words.
Asuka versus Asuka. Duel 1. Let's rock!
Mapping trajectory. I said stop! Mapping trajectory. You must be lucky. Away, what? Recompiling fears.
Slap!
That tension boost might have been a bit unfair.
Asuka wins. Duel 2. Let's rock!
Deeper. Losing initiative. And most of all, fundamental strength all come up. This was a failure. We're not meant for such rigorous recreation. I agree. But that's not news to you, is it? You are me, after all. I suppose. But if so, shouldn't you already know my intentions? It's strange. We should be identical. But we're not. I'm chattier than you are. You made me that way. And I can't make heads or tails of right and wrong. It's vexing. Vexing? I forgot to reconfigure your real-time settings. Sorry about that. Your personality formation and experience points are out of alignment. You know, you don't seem like the type to destroy all human life. You don't have to laugh. Come with me.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
Thank you for waiting. Let's have a good fight.
Improvisation may trump a perfect plan, but I'll take my chances.
Asuka versus Queen Disney. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Losing initiative. Unleash.
It is time. Do you wish to continue?
It seems I can survive this.
Asuka wins. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Here I come. This is my strength.
Mapping trajectory. Away. Deeper.
Slap.
How rude of me. I haven't an ounce of fighting spirit.
Asuka wins. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
I'll rock your heart and knock you out.
Quiet, please. I'm calculating my chance of survival.
Asuka versus FL. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Away!
Here's my demo. So peaceful. You'll still come to my show, right?
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
sure is hard. It's far easier to destroy them.
Asuka wins. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
Well then, to a dazzling encounter.
Quiet, please. I'm calculating.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
I suppose this isn't over yet. How rude of me. I haven't an ounce of fighting spirit.
Asuka wins. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts. Heaven or hell.
Let's have a fine duel.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Unleash! Blade comport!
Victory spot! Ride the lightning! Stop right there!
Blade! Mapping trajectory.
Positive bonus.
Away!
Slap!
I'll let you have the win. If we can...
Duel 2. Let's rock!
Away! Blade deep. Blade comport. Blade comport. Losing initiative.
Hold my truth! Embrace the light! Ride the lightning!
Positive earth.
I won't allow it!
Blade comport.
Victory spot! Ride the lightning!
Mapping trajectory.
Sin.
Slap!
Sorry.
Beating people sure is hard. It's far easier to destroy them.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
I'm a very busy man. You got that?
Improvisation may trump a perfect plan, but I'll take my chance.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Fly! Losing initiative. Unleash! Slice! Slice! Blade! Let's change it up! Fly!
Too easy.
Slap! Duel 2. Let's rock!
Away! Blade! Unleash! an ounce of fighting spirit.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
I'll make this painless.
Improvisation may trump a perfect plan, but I'll take my...
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Let's play composure. Inducing initiative. I guess I managed somehow.
Duel 2. Let's rock!
Harmonic boost.
This is for fun.
Slap!
Beating people sure is hard. It's far easier to destroy them.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven or hell.
I never thought I would make it to me. I sure didn't see this coming.
Asuka versus Asuka.
All the simulations thus far were quite well made. But isn't this redundant? I tuned in for combat. Fighting will show us some sort of answer. There are two possible conclusions. One that I'm hoping for. And the other? I'd like to believe you're not hoping for it.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Mapping trajectory. Mind if I go back? I guess I managed somehow.
Asuka wins. Duel 2. Let's rock!
More deep.
ignition.
Mapping projector. Is approximately equal to the field. It seems like my wish came true. Are you going to tell me what your wish was? Your duty and your penance for throwing the world into chaos. You were stuck between those two mutually exclusive ends, as a scientist and as a human. So why did you create me? I was frightened for a moment there, but you prevailed. I want to exist. Even so, without a firm scientific basis, you'll just go in circles. Just because something isn't proven doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You think it's unscientific to deny the value of feelings? I know it, and I'll prove it. I might well exist to do so. There must be a more natural way to reach an understanding. Maybe we can disprove gravity next.
Once there is
Game over.